So going through the footage and adding narration, I feel like I forgot to preface that this whole project, without exaggerating, was a joy to work on. I took a whole week off of work and like really just took my time and did everything the way I wanted to do it. And there's really like no aspect where I got upset in any way or like didn't want to do it. Like every single step of the way was a joy. And that's what makes this project, I feel like, more special than all the other ones. This one's kind of a close to the heart one. And I think next project I take on that's somewhat similar whatsoever, I'm definitely going to take time off too, because when you're in a hurry, it just doesn't work quite right. So enjoy the narration. It's a little foggy. I have no idea how it's actually recording. I don't know where the microphone is to speak into. So yeah, check it out if you have like 10 full minutes. Actually, it's like 8.5 maybe. But to sit down and actually watch the whole thing. Or dice it up in little bits.
Every project starts with a sharpened pencil. That one happens to be a little bit spooky. So it's perfect. Finger factory. So here's me cranking out the finger joints. Looking back, I probably would have did more with how they're limited in range. But hindsight's 2020, as it were. So there's some more jointed fingers. There's, I think, the pinky in the middle, maybe. There's a laid out hand. There's both laid out hands. A palm bone. That's not the technical term. A thumbs up, of course. Scale. Real hand for scale. Painting them white so they look a little more bone bleached. Got my brass tacks in there. Getting down to brass tacks, as they say. I flattened them, and I've shown that with that angle that I flattened them a little so they locate better. There's me putting the sleeve on that my arm actually goes in with the gloves and the rings. And there's me sewing, I sewn a line in there and fitted it on. That's how long they extend past my real arms.
Okay, quick video update. I got all my eyelet hooks, or I guess they call them screw eyes, on there. I just got one line for now, testing the thumb. Thumb works really good. But it's going to be tricky on here because the thumb doesn't have such a linear pull like those do. I could try to just do this maybe. But I was thinking about doing it backwards, so that would be extended. Then when I pull it back, I'm not sure yet. But I got these little rings that I want to try to put on the gloves, and I think I'm going to maybe slit it, roll it back, and hand sew it. I'm not sure. Cut 2 slits. I'm going to do it on both sides so the rings stay on the gloves.
Okay, back to my babble. 1, 2, 3.
Bigger ring for the thumb, got little rings for here. And the idea is I'll wear the sleeve, which will be attached better here. Put the sleeve on where these are already readied with the lines, the fish line, and the rings are already on it. And then I can puppeteer that way. I think it might work.
So this finger's a little bit bum. But it's not too bad.
Yeah, stick it to the man. So my hands are almost done. Look at my black and white artistic photo. I start scaling it out to see what ratios are appropriate for it. That pantograph there is like, I wouldn't even let kids use it. It was so cheap. But it kind of worked. So I started cutting ribs out like one of those 3D puzzles and ditched the idea. There's the block I really used. Put 2 different axis drawings on it, cut it out rough with a turkey blade, I think it was, and then I used a heat knife for the eye recesses later. And I think I used a heat knife to refine it a bit. There's me looking tough. So at this point, I'm like, I think it's almost done. I'm like, wow. And then I realized there's some really heavy lines in the face and I need to contour more. So there it goes a little closer. And that in the background was my Plan B skull. It was way too big, but I kept it just in case. Came from the in-laws.
Alright, I think my skull is ready. It's kind of stylized in a way. But I'm actually happy with it. Like, I think basically what it looks like is what I was hoping for, I think.
No, homie, it is not ready.
I want to see how bigger it is in my head. It seems like it's not huge, but
Starting to put some color in the eye sockets. And I'm really kind of excited at this point, really, because it's actually coming to life.
It is starting to be alive.
Okay, now it looks like it's time to make what I call the helmet, where I gut out the skull so I can wear it like a hat or a helmet. Most of that was hot knife, really. Test fit, pass. Jawline. Those are jaw templates. I make it out of that 1-inch foam. Cut it and bevel the edge with a hot knife. Glue it together with hot glue. Further contour it. Test fit, and I was excited because it fit and it opens.
I'm gonna have to trim these teeth down, trim the whole jaw down. It's gonna look a little weird, but I think it'll look alright.
But first, let me take a selfie. And another selfie. Okay, so you can't really tell from this picture or from this video much, but it is, when you're new, this part is very scary. So I kind of practice touching wall to wall like once a day just to help get familiar with it.
I feel like I'm walking more stressed. I think I need to tighten that again.
Yes, the painting starts now. I did outsource this to Angie. She really wanted to do it, and I kind of wanted her to do it, but I was willing to tackle it if she like was busy or anything. But it came out superb. I'm so happy with it.
Sweet, it worked.
That was the very first time my white machine spun a bobbin under my control, so that was exciting. So here I'm laying out some pants to make a template for longer pants that I extended by like a foot or two, as seen. This is my coat or vest or something. I think it was a coat that I reversed to kind of get some contouring tips from it. And then there's me laying out a sleeve. Here's me trying several times to get that shape right, to abut it to the sleeve to the main part. There's me pinning the heck out of it. The more pins, the better in that situation. Me test fitting, dress rehearsal. That's a full-size arcade game in the background. I'm starting to add embellishments. There's me test running it, but I think I jumped the gun on this because I have pictures of it getting donned, as it shows here. I'm starting to put it on, or maybe I was undressing, I don't know. But putting on stilts, getting ready to man my hands. Putting on the hands, do a quick test fit. These things worked pretty well. I was really excited with them. Falling, can't get up. Candid side shot. So this part was scary because the sidewalk was very tilted. So I had to baby my way on. Are you still back there?
This is pretty comfortable. This isn't too bad.
So naturally I did get a little more comfortable walking in it, although maybe not terribly so. And then there's one more final picture in front of the moon. Yeah, okay, bye.
Okay, so I want to do a little afterword about the actual action of the parade. So you've seen how it was built roughly, and I want to speak on what happened. So it wasn't perfectly smooth. We get there. I use like a truck and a ladder to get up on and like get, my stilts and everything ready. And I think I forgot to double check my strap. It's one of those little strap things where like the loop has to go through. There's like a buckle, and if it doesn't go through, it does its own thing, and it doesn't hold like it should. So I get a third the way through. I'm walking pretty good. It's hard to keep up, even though I got long legs, but I'm doing okay. And then I realize my think it was my right leg strap is not that tight. It's like working progressively more loose. So I'm basically trying to get Angie's attention because I basically had her heel like a dog the whole time. So I had like a spotter in case things went awry. And things kind of did because it started working loose and I could see the cameras were coming up soon. Like this is like the judging booth where the local television has their like judging or whatever and they'd say a few words. And I'm like, I just got to make it through this. So I just like kind of limped through that. It works pretty good. I think you can hardly tell that I was having a minor crisis. And then right after the booth, right after the cameras were out of the reach of the cameras, I'm getting Angie's attention. I'm like, hey, I'm like, you know, it's like panic mode essentially. And so I pull off to the side and this nice couple's like, hey, do you need help? I'm like, yeah, like, could you just help steady me? And I put like my forearm, my real forearm against his real shoulder. And like Angie helped hike up my sleeve. Cause you know, the sleeve is like a quarter-mile long. And so we get it up. I tell her how to strap it. Cause mind you, I can't use my real hands. And so we get it tight. I'm like, I think that's good. We get the sleeve down and I'm on my way. Now what really sticks in my crop about the whole situation, I'm bummed about, is I didn't get to go through the whole crowd because that crisis I had kind of put me behind. So I had to cut across the street and like just catch back up to my crew because, you know, I just can't walk that fast. Even though I'm long and legged, the speed and agility just isn't really there. And part of that could have been my skill set at the time. But so yeah, and it's really quite strange. Like I did a lot of hand gestures. A lot of people did not expect the hands to move. They thought it was kind of neat, and then they saw my hands move, and they're like, a completely different reaction. I was waving at old people and kids and stuff. And really, it feels kind of like you're a celebrity, which is strange. Instant celebrity. Because people like want their picture with you, and they're like trying to get your attention and stuff. It was really fun, though, and it was successful overall. But, and I would do it again. But, yeah, so that's a little story about the action. See ya.